Have you ever fallen in love with a home but worried about getting outbidded? In a competitive real estate market, an escalation clause can give you a competitive edge. But what is an escalation clause and how does it work? In today's video, I will break down how it all works and show you how it can help a buyer win in a multiple offer situation. Let's get into it. So first, what is an escalation clause? An escalation clause is a provision you can include with your offer that says if another buyer submits a higher offer, I am willing to increase my bid by a set amount up to a maximum price. For example, if you offer $400,000 on a home with an escalation clause that increases your bid by $5,000 above the next best offer up to a maximum of $420,000, you're essentially saying you're paying more to outbid others within your specific range. But I will say this. It's not always just about, it's never always about the money. It's about the money, but it's about the other terms. Even if your sales price outbids the other offer, you have to always think of the contingencies in your offer as well. Because if the other offer has less contingencies than you, or it's better, like either no contingencies or less days on their contingencies, then they're still going to win, even if you gave more money. So moving on. How does an escalation clause work? So you have your initial offer. You submit a competitive starting offer price along with an escalation clause. You'll have incremental increases. The clause specifies how much you are willing to increase your offer. It could be $2,000, $5,000, or more above the next highest bid. The maximum cap is the clause that sets the ceiling price. So you're not bidding endlessly. You have to have a cutoff. You can't just go on forever. This protects you from overpaying beyond your budget. And then based on what the agreement has, you're still protected with your appraisal in place, if you still have it in place. Proof of competitive offers. So if the escalation clause is used in the transaction, the seller must provide documentation of the competing offers to trigger your escalation. This ensures fairness and transparency in the process. So it's not like, you won at 420. It wasn't just, you won because it protects you. It's not just saying, we just like that you're willing to pay 420. Just because they have to show you proof of why you won. So the benefits of an escalation clause, it gives you a competitive edge in a multiple offer situation. Escalation clause shows the seller that you're serious and you're willing to go above the other buyers up to a point. This can make your offer stand out without immediately over committing to your maximum budget, saves time and reduces the back and forth. Instead of negotiating back and forth, an escalation clause simplifies the process by automatically increasing your offer if needed. This can save valuable time in a fast-moving market. So say instead of having to do the counters and have the agents go around and say, is your client willing to do this or that or whatever? Because most of the time, if you submit an offer, it is assumed, you shouldn't assume anything, but it's assumed that that is your best offer because that's the offer that you presented. So if you don't have an escalation clause, that's what you're willing to do, period. But that might not be the case. So escalation clause could help you. So it protects your budget. The maximum cap ensures that you don't end up paying more than you're comfortable with. It's a strategic way to stay competitive while maintaining control of your finances. And so you may have seen in, a final sales price, if they have like weird numbers, more than likely it's probably because they had an escalation clause. It could be 501. I mean, who would list their house like 501. That doesn't make sense. It's possible, but not likely. So they could have won by $501. So that's where the final price comes in. So what are the risks and considerations? So overexposing your max budget. One downside to escalation clause essentially is telling the seller the highest price you're willing to pay. This could lead to them countering at or near your max without the competitive offers. That's why it's important to work with your agent to craft the clause carefully. 2, may not be accepted by the seller. Some sellers prefer straightforward offers without escalation clauses, especially if they're concerned about fairness and simplicity. And also sometimes if the agent doesn't understand how they work, they just don't like to deal with them. So risks of overpaying in a high competitive market and escalation clause could push your offer near the top of your max. Even if the home's value doesn't justify it, be sure to consider the home's market value before agreeing to a maximum price, especially if you have gotten rid of the appraisal contingency, or if you don't have the money to cover the difference. If the appraisal comes in low, where's that money coming from? So think of that. So tips for using an escalation clause effectively. So you want to start with a strong offer. Your initial offer needs to be competitive to show the seller that you're serious. You need to have a realistic cap. So determine your maximum bid based on the home's value and your budget. What are you willing to do and what can you do? Work with an experienced agent. Your agent will help you craft the clause to maximize your chances of success while protecting your interests, because that's what they're there for. And understand the market. In the seller's market, escalation clauses are more common. In the balanced market, they may not be necessary. An escalation clause can be a powerful tool to help you secure your dream home in a competitive market, but it's not without risks. With the right strategy and guidance from an experienced agent, you can have an edge to get you to win. But sometimes it's not always about winning. So you have to think of the whole scope in everything in the solution. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rashana Levin, Realtor with KW United. If you are ready to navigate the real estate market and have questions about escalation clauses, let's connect at 240-284-4114. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.